Animals and Gangsters, this is Eisen coming to you from the Ice Between Eyeliner channel. Today I'm going to do the gender tag because I'm starting to question that. I am detransition curious. I don't really freaking know. My situation is that I've been on testosterone since 2019 or so. I've been thinking I was a trans guy since 2014 and essentially trying to act on that socially in 2015. So it's been quite a while. I'm 26 now and I don't know, I'm starting to question that because I don't know, I show up like this just for my freaking boys that I like, just for the guys that I like, and get lots out of that, and that's a sort of confusing situation. And when I met these guys months ago, I mentioned I was trans, and they're like, well, why did you transition? I just had no freaking answer for that. Other trans guys can point to freaking stuff that has to do with only having masculine interests, and only wanting to dress like a guy, and I never didn't enjoy being a girl, so I'm just gonna do this freaking tag, because why the hell not? I did this tag 10 years ago when I was 16, and I have forgotten what all the questions are. So these are all going to be new to me. How do you self-identify your gender? Frick. Yeah, that's the one question I didn't want to answer. Thank you. Currently, everywhere I am a guy. With my guys, they can call me a girl if they want to. They can do that. Especially in the bed, that's just fine. Didn't think I actually liked that, but I do. But me and both of these guys are very close. We're all very good friends. So that's just what it is about that. I would say I am detransition curious, as I said before. And that definition means that I'm a guy everywhere, but with my guys, I might be a chick sometimes, because every time I know that I'm going to see them, or I think that I might go see them that day, because we hang out every frickin' day, pretty much. I mean, I need to get a full-time job at this point, because my boss is on vacation for the next frickin' month, so I won't have any frickin' work lined up. Just the casual job. I had 2 jobs for forever. So, yeah, we're just always hanging out, and yeah, that's about it. I gotta say, I've never been this uncomfortable answering questions, but I thought these were gonna be more lighthearted questions. What pronouns honor you? Yeah, love the way that's put, because it's all about freaking honor and social status, not about actually being referred to as you would fit in society. Yeah, everybody tells me I fit in society very well as a man. I've concocted a great male image for myself. It took a lot of freaking work. Took a lot of effort to learn how to be a freaking man, because that's 90% of transition. Everything you do, everything you say, every way you speak, every freaking way you move is all of a sudden pulled into a completely different direction, or else you just don't fit in and are ugly to everyone. It's all a bunch of difficult BS, but yeah, I'm most comfortable with he. But if essentially my boyfriend wants to call me she, that's fine. He did a couple days ago, and then my buddy was like, yeah, no, he. And he's like, but she. We were all acting like we were going to go to the strip club and go by different names. And they called me by the name of a female friend of ours. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm her. Hell yeah, I'm the baddest bitch. Hell yeah, I can get any man I want. Bruh. It's not like I haven't fantasized about being in that hot chick role before, because I wrote a whole frickin' story about it. Describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. All men's clothing. I don't like going out in women's clothing. Ever since I was a kid, I just liked wearing boy clothes. Frickin' always. I had this green jacket. It was somewhere between this and this. It was a yellowy green. Yeah, it was this really frickin' nice hoodie with a dragon on it. Great big frickin' like deep blue dragon with black and white on it, and that was the sickest thing I've ever frickin' worn. I accidentally wore it for picture day, and my family makes a big frickin' deal about dressing up, so my mom was really pissed that I wore that by accident, because I didn't know it was photo day. But I really love seeing that ornament on the tree every Christmas, because that's me, that's literally me, that's me with my long hair and my frickin' dragon hoodie. And I must have been freaking 7 years old, you know? That was my style. That was my very cool boys' clothing like my cousins used to wear. And I didn't even really think about that my whole idea of the male image was about my cousins until freaking earlier this year. I was just thinking about how male fashion back then was just so damn cool, and they wore like Jesse Pinkman stuff. So that's what I'm talking about, like 2000s douchebag clothes, right? I just thought it was so freaking cool, and I was like, I want to be that. Yeah, that's me right there. That's freaking me. But I also really freaking liked wearing cutesy pink stuff. Since I could ever remember, my favorite colors were pink and purple. And, it's not like colors describe your gender or whatever, but, when it comes down to it, my favorite colors always were pink and purple. And then it shifted to just pink and then just purple when I was around middle school. And then at this point, I really like indigo. A really dark, deep indigo. The kind that I can almost wear, but it's too saturated for my palette and whatever, and I don't even know what the hell my palette is called at this point because I dyed my hair blonde. This was for essentially my boyfriend. I'm just gonna call him my boyfriend for the sake of brevity in this video, but he's kind of like my sugar baby that doesn't really want a lot of money. He's not very attracted to me, but when he's 2 drinks in, he always wants to kiss me. I can't stop this guy from kissing me when he's had a couple drinks. No joke. I don't really know what that is, but I've been using ChatGPT as a therapist for the last couple days, and that has helped immensely to figure out some issues I have with one fricking guy. If worse comes to worse, I might have to private this video or edit it or remake it or whatever, because I'm saying a whole lot of personal stuff, but none of my friends watch my YouTube channel anymore. My ex-girlfriend might be on there, but I don't fricking care what the hell she thinks. I mean, she literally tracked down my current boyfriend to fricking insult me and him in the messages. Why were you doing this? Just get a job, stop being on welfare. But yeah, I don't like women's clothing, never have, especially women's pants. Straight garbage. They're stretchy, obscene. I don't want everybody seeing my crotch, and I like having the male crotch essentially just longer and more modest. And I used to care a lot about modesty despite being, I forget the softer word for this, but kind of a hoe, but I'm not even really a hoe. It's just like 2 guys, man. That's not a hoe. This video is very convoluted, but I hope someone who appreciates psychology and random BS like this will appreciate it. But yeah, I exclusively wear men's clothing. For a woman, I've always been tall. So things like cap sleeves don't work on my long shoulders. My shoulders are freaking big. A lot of things are just too short, and I don't really have the hourglass physique. I mean, clothes don't fit off the rack. Everyone knows that. We all used to go to tailors frickin' hundreds of years ago, and then somebody just forgot about that for some damn reason. You would just pick a small, medium, large off the rack. Then you'd take it to a tailor, and the tailor would deal with it. And you'd actually have clothes that fit, but people stopped spending their money on clothing a while ago. This is cheap, and I'll just wear it, and then I'll throw it to the thrift store. But yeah, I like necklaces and things. Really down with that. I think it's freaking cool. Talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or choose not to shave? Body hair, I always really freaking like that my stomach is really hairy. I'm not going to show it because that's just kind of pornographic and obscene. I'd keep my armpit hair. I used to shave it 10 years ago because I just liked the way it looked or something. No one's ever really had a problem with it, so I just keep it because whatever. But on Halloween, I did shave in my entire body. Took me a fricking hour or something. It was a horrendous bit of effort, and I wasn't even in the shower when I did half of it. I just was over a fricking towel in my room, and then I rolled the towel up, and then it made a big mess in the fricking laundry, and I had to clear all that out. Stupid way to do that, but I thought I was gonna get with somebody on Halloween, and I thought, okay, I really need to make an effort for this. But yeah, I've always had, for the last years, a big long beard that went down to, I'd say about here. Everyone said it looked bad on 4chan, but I didn't believe it because they're a bunch of incels. 4chan users are my friends, and I love hanging out with people on 4chan, but they're so insulting, and you can't separate that from reality, so I just thought they were just throwing BS at me, and then actual people in my life freaking told me that I did look better with a shorter beard. So I was like, okay, whatever, shorter beard. It actually does fit my face better. So I just went around with, a beard that was about a centimeter long or so, and that worked for my face shape immensely. It made me stop looking funny from the side, which I didn't know it would do. My boyfriend mentioned that he doesn't like, facial hair. He's kind of into men, but not really. It's complicated, and I'm not going to explain it because that's his thing. But yeah, and then I was like, well, you give me a great service by being at my house and telling me that you love me and everything, through text and kissing me when you're drunk and you know, being all cutesy from across the room, and then I'm like, look at that little creature. I love my little creature, you know? So I was like, okay, well, whatever, let's just see what mutton chops look like on me, because it's been a couple of years. I have decent enough facial hair that I can do that, and everybody loves the mutton chops, so I think I'm going to keep going with that, because I thought it was going to be feeling really awful to freaking shave my beard off, because I did it before years ago, and I was like, hate that, absolutely hate it, but I don't hate it. I don't know what happened, and my mustache I trimmed down. It's like twice as thick. Turned it down just to see what would happen, because I don't know. I got really successful with my blonde hair. I did that for one guy and ended up getting the other. Kind of funny. I learned this makeup tutorial, the Sabrina Carpenter makeup tutorial, for one guy and ended up getting the guy I had my eye on the whole freaking time. What the hell is this? Why are there pictures of meat when this homie is talking about body hair? What is going on there? I'm not even going to put the subtitles on for that. Because what the hell? Talk about cosmetics. Do you choose to wear makeup? I don't know, do I? Has my whole channel devolved into makeup at this point? Yeah, I do a lot of mixing together of face powders, lip products. It's mostly lip products, but I also used to do frickin' nail polish, but at this point I'm just onto fake nails because my natural nails are just such a frickin' problem. They've been excessively thin my whole life, so I always pick at them. They always fall apart. They flake. It's mostly just that they flake, and it's horrible. And trying to open stuff with them, and then my nail just flakes apart, and there goes half my nail polish and any frickin' nail length I had. So it's just a crapshoot, and fake nails are way easier to deal with. I don't have to frickin' be looking at that and picking at that for, hours a week. It's great. It's a lot better. Yeah, I started fake nails. It was not for the appearance in the beginning. It was just for that I didn't have to deal with this absolute horse shit day in, day out. And then it ended up being something where I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I can move up. I got these ones. This was what I was wearing when I was living with a DJ. And he was really cool. He was a really positive sort of guy, but then he was doing some BS with my friends that I didn't fricking like. Then I got these ones. These ones were the ones on Halloween that I was trying to wear to impress this one guy. And that didn't work because he was like, no, we become too close. We can't be doing that. And I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. These ones also for Halloween. But yeah, I work my way through different packets of nails. They last for 2 months each. When they fall off, I glue them back on. What types of soaps and perfumes do you use, if any? Yes, I use hella fricking perfumes and colognes. Soaps, I like the smell of anything that's, juniper or spicy or any really strong scent. I wore Lush Lord of Misrule for a very fricking long time, and that was the full strength fricking one. That was absolutely insane. People always told me I smelled so good, and they were like, what is that? Sometimes I would layer with whatever the hell I had laying around. Now I have the roll-on frickin' stick of Lush Lord of Misrule, and then I have Blue Skies and Fluffy White Clouds, but I also had Calvin Klein Into You, Avon Wedding Waltz, which is a vintage. I also have the Grief scented Lush one. I'm not gonna get that one out now, but it's the one that's clearly scented like grief and sadness and whatever. And I just thought, oh man, I don't know. I just looked at that, smelled it, and I was like, this smells like berries. And the whole grief thing reminded me of my dead best friend. And it's like, yeah, he did die freaking 3 years ago, but I don't know, whatever. My cousin also died recently, so in honor, I bought a berry-flavored perfume, I guess. I don't like that one as much, because it just smells like berries, and that's it. Dark musk and berries or something. But this one, Blue Skies and Fluffy White Clouds, it doesn't have as much holding power as the frickin' Lush Lord of Misrule did. The thing is, with essential oil fragrances, you want to buy them in the year that they're created, not a frickin' year after, because I don't know if it's just a natural thing about that, or whether it's the storage of it being improper, but they don't frickin' stick on for a whole entire month or two when you spray it once, the year after it was created. So, if something comes out, go to the frickin' store and smell it. Take your friends, take that several frickin' hour drive to go to the Lush store. And yeah, if you like it, buy it, because it won't be as good next year. Have you experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? Yeah, this is something I absolutely do not care about. This is something that teenagers and people with severe mental issues care about. It's all about my identity, my identity. I'm going to control what you think about me because I have to. You have to know what I think about me, and you have to see me, and I have to see me when you see me. Got it, bitch? And that's entirely the whole frickin' point of the issue of misgendering. I don't know if can I even be misgendered anymore. People just always see me as a guy. They're surprised that I'm trans, but I'm gonna be showing up like this. If I have to apply for a job, I'm not gonna come like this. I'm aware it looks weird, but I always like to do that. And then once I actually transitioned and I did this again, and I was like, it doesn't look good. Okay, pick a freaking side, because you just have to. Grow up, pick a freaking side. Can't be rolling around looking like everything all at once. It's a mess. I'm not that traumatized. I don't have to do that. I'll leave that for everybody who frickin' wants to make a big deal of pride and other sins. What I do is not a sin. I am not an entirely lusty man or woman. I love anybody that I'm running back to. And it's just two guys. I love them. I would marry one of them. But he's got to figure himself the hell out. And the other guy, nah. I mean, I like him. I do love him. But it's difficult. I always just keep thinking, someday I'm going to be 30. You know, someday the year is going to be 2030, and I'm going to have to think about who I'm going to marry, or if I'm marrying someone that, you know, is actually even any good. And that's part of the reason why I was like, damn, you know, this kind of sucks. Keeping this whole trans guy image when really I would do anything for either of these guys. I make my face look however they want. I make my facial hair look however they want. I dyed my hair. I'm gonna grow it out. I haven't grown my hair out since I cut it in 2021. I've only been growing my hair for a freaking year at a time, and then I shave it to freaking make more hair on the wig so then I can wear the wig and then I can repeat the process. Then I thought, well, my hair's about to get longer than that, and everybody loves playing with my hair, so why don't I just grow it out? It's my freaking choice, so I'm doing it. Man, it's difficult, you know, to think about things that I haven't had to think about in several years, even decades, and have to deal with growing the hell up, having a freaking real job, and trying to get rid of so much of my stuff that I had from my hoarding problem during the pandemic. And it's all just everything at freaking once. It's not something I can't handle, but at this point, it's almost like, hey, can we slow this down? Because ChatGPT was freaking... I thought I was just venting about how my friend acted, and then it's like, oh no, yeah, you definitely have issues, because he was kind of being a dick, actually. And I was like, whoa, dude, I don't know if he was being a dick. I mean, I didn't have such issues with it that much, and ChatGPT, I don't know, kind of told me I had daddy issues or something, and I'm like, yeah, well, this is one of the years I'm not thinking about that anymore, so can we not? I just don't like it when a strong man yells at me, okay? How about we just call it that? But yeah, I'm not going to get mad if someone calls me a girl or whatever. I mean, it's just kind of wrong when you look at me, and no one's going to call me a girl by looking at me, but if the guys call me a girl, it's kind of fine. Do you experience dysphoria? Absolutely not. No. The second I freaking transition, my boobs shrank. I was 36A, and I turned into a 36AA, which is half the size. I'm not dysphoric anymore. That's freaking weird. Because they keep telling you, and the videos are like, oh, the second you get anything done, your dysphoria is gonna move. I went on testosterone, and then my hips were the freaking problem when it wasn't my boobs were the problem. Then after that, you know, you get top surgery, and then it all moves to the bottom, and you just get dysphoric about the next freaking thing. And yeah, might be worth it not getting any of that done to begin with, but I don't think that's gonna even move. Yeah, I haven't been dysphoric since I transitioned. I don't know why. Whether that means that I'm not really trans, or I don't know, I'm just comfortable, and I've been comfortable with myself for a long time. All I needed was some friends, really. That's kind of my big issue in my life, is that I didn't have any friends when I was in high school. And in middle school was also kind of bad. And who knows, even in elementary school I didn't hang out with people as frequently as my brother did, and I was always pissed at the world. So who knows how long that's been going on. Definitely not a problem anymore. Everybody I'm friends with actually wants to hang out with me, and they don't want to sit there and say, oh, I'm depressed, we can't do anything today, no, I don't want to come on a walk with you, I just want to go home and play with my cat. Like, bro, I'm so sick of dealing with that. I'm so sick of dealing with that. It feels like people don't want to be around me, and if you're just gonna abandon me like that, no, it's not my problem actually. And I'm blessed to have it not be my problem anymore. My ex was kind of like that. She was like, "I don't want to hang with your friends. I don't like your friends. They're mean and rude and whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, some of them are, but they're my friends. So if you're my girlfriend, you're coming with me for all this. Like, I'm not going there without you, looking like a fool, looking like, oh yeah, my girlfriend didn't want to come with me." And the thing is, she would just be staying at my house alone. In my house, we don't let random freaking people stay in the house when I'm not home for that. My brother's friends were never just in the house when me and my brother aren't there. That's weird. Who does that? No. What, are you puppy sitting? We don't have no damn puppy. Well, it's not really discomfort. I just wonder how my face would look if I didn't transition. Because my jawline is freaking huge. I always liked that about myself, but how would I look like as a chick? I've been thinking about the prospect of detransitioning for maybe up to a month now. This was kind of stolen from me. Like, I never got to be a woman. I got to be a 14-year-old. And then I decided I wanted to be trans because that's all I saw on the internet. And they were like, "This is so great. This is so affirming. This is such social status. Everyone should do this. This is the real you." Of course I believed that. I was fucking depressed and anxious and cutting myself every single day. I was bruising myself with a screwdriver, freaking pulling my hair. I hate loud music. I always did. And I freaking turned it all the way up just to self-harm. Every method of self-harming I've done. I've had an eating disorder. I've had 2 eating disorders. It was only, a month or so. But the one with the green tea really lasted a long time. And I don't like thinking about it. Sometimes when I drink green tea, it brings me back to that place. And I don't want to be there, but I'm really glad that people don't, concentrate green tea the way I used to. Because I used to put 3 tea bags in 1 cup and let it steep all day. And it was horrible and disgusting. And you would get to the bottom and there was sludge. And every waking moment was a punishment for myself. Because I was so angry at the world because people were angry at me. And just kind of a cycle of self-harm, no one wanting me romantically, sexually, wanting to be friends with me because I was so emotionally unstable. It was absolutely insane. And I talk about stuff like that from my past, and people are like, "What? You? You have issues?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I used to be just like you, which is why I hang out with you, because I know how to help you. And I don't be saving anybody. I just let people roll the frickin' way they are." But yeah, difficult, whatever. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that were an option for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you may have? Can we split the responsibility with children? Because I'm really good with children, but I don't know, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, I don't know, man. That sounds like a recipe for depression, boredom, shopping problems, which I've already frickin' had. Carrying a child, really don't know about that one. I have had premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I'm pretty sure I had that. I am self-diagnosed, but it was the only explanation for why I was self-harming so rapidly within the span of half a month and freaking just crazy for half the month. So that's part of the reason I really don't want to go off testosterone, because if I'm like that again, I might just hurt myself. I might just think about offing myself again. That used to be a very comforting thought to me, and I don't want that to be a comforting thought ever. That's not even something you should frickin' think about. Yeah, if worse comes to worse, I can just end it. No, no, no. I want to have children, and I want them to be like me. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, and spending 30 frickin' grand on IVF is a waste of money and a waste of years. And it requires going through a treatment of female hormones, which I don't want to do because it'll make me completely insane. I can't handle progesterone. I don't think I can. So I'll leave that question for myself 5 years in the future. Why not? Talk about money. These questions are so frickin' disorganized. Why the hell are we putting such a lighthearted question after the biggest, roughest issue that you could possibly think of going through? Is it important for you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Yes. I like being the fricking man with the money. Is it important to you that you can earn more than any partner you may have? Yeah. Yeah, it's damn important. I am the fricking decider. I make the decisions. I fricking buy the stuff. I love I love when I'm freaking getting a man drunk off my dollar. You know? When a dude's just begging me for liquor and he's looking up at me like, please, can you buy me black flies? Can you buy me alcohol? And he's like, I want to get really drunk. That's what my boyfriend is like. And I love it. And I'm like, you got no idea how long I've been waiting for this. You got no idea how freaking long I've been waiting for a man to beg me for liquor and money and weed and things like that. Like, bro, yeah, I am the freaking pimp, bro. I am the freaking daddy, motherfucker. Yes, the hell I am. And I've always, throughout my adolescent and adult life, I've always loved when a man has, not a real career, but just like a stupid little career, like he's a DJ or makes art on the side or some BS like that. Something that takes up enough of his time, but just enough so that he has all the free time in the world to be a cute little whimsical animal and just be always hanging out with me, and we can just take long walks places, and it's wonderful. Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Oh yeah, yeah. I love that. If we both actually freaking want to go there, if I'm not going to hear afterwards. I took my boyfriend out for sushi one time because I used to do that with my ex-girlfriend all the freaking times. It's been a month. Yeah, let's go back to the restaurant me and my ex-girlfriend used to eat at every other day, which I would pay for. I ran up so much, and that was because it was a lesson for me. It wasn't because I was doing it entirely for her. It was like, I want to know what it's like to spend money. I want to know what it's like. Everyone else knows how to spend money normally, especially on other people, and spend lots of money, and spend money on food, exorbitant amounts of money on food. And I was like, I want to learn this skill, because this is an issue I have. And I knew she had expensive taste. I never threw money at her when we were friends, so once we were in a relationship, I was like, okay, I'm pulling out all the stops. Let's make this, great and lavish and wonderful. I want to provide for you, because I love you. But even though she said she loved me every so often, she really didn't. And anyway, yeah, she threw a punch at me and told me she wished she could beat me, so it was all over. There was nothing good about that. There was nothing good about her, really. But yeah, I love being the one to pay for stuff. It's like half the freaking reason I want the full-time job is that I can have something to occupy my time, put away money, and then pay for the bitches. 'Cause I love my bitches. Are you uncomfortable when other people pay for you or offer to pay for you? I used to be, and then I got used to it because people just be treating me for stuff. But I don't know, I'm not mad at the concept. But no one's ever loved me like that they would pay for me romantically. Doesn't happen in my life. It's been 26 years. Anything you want to share about your experience with gender? I would like to share that why the hell are we telling children and teenagers to transition? I would like to share why are we not putting kids in freaking wilderness camps where they can actually learn stuff about their lives and survival and themselves. I mean, survival's like my number one favorite thing. I was almost trapped in the bush last night. We were 4-buying and then this gate closed at 4 p.m. and we got there at 4:03, which wasn't my decision, obviously. I don't frickin' miss the bus, and I don't miss any frickin' thing like that. If it's something where it's out for real, no, we're not doing that. We're not getting there late. And so we had to find the other gate. And I'm counting all the stuff I have on me, how I can make pine needle soup without a freaking pot or a funnel. Or I'm thinking, yeah, I got all my chargers and my phone battery and 4 hours of water, an avocado, a book and a notebook and my diary. So we got all this freaking loaded up. And my toothbrush. I mean, I was completely set. I just roll around like that. I can go wherever the hell I want, basically, and just be staying the night there. It's great. Yeah, why are people encouraging people to explore things within their head that freaking may or may not exist and may or may not leave you with decades of regret and feeling ugly and feeling unwanted because you are ugly and unwanted, transforming from a beautiful girl into a short, skinny man? Nobody wants that. Like, desperate chicks and freaking promiscuous gay guys want that. And when you dress up like a chick again, all these wonderful yet flawed men freaking want that again. And they're like, yeah, you're cute, you're beautiful. I missed feeling beautiful. I missed looking good. I was really good looking as a child. I was good looking when I was 13. And then I transitioned into a guy. What the hell happened? Why make this permanent change? Why would you change yourself permanently? That's like full body frickin' tats. No one would let anybody get full body frickin' tats. It's legal to do that at 19, but that doesn't mean you should. It means you should take it frickin' slow. And I thought I was taking it slow, but really, when nothing in your life is progressing, except for maybe going to school for something small and having like 2 friends that are both kind of mean to you or just avoid you half the time, and then thinking about yourself and hypothesizing about gender and misgendering and the notion that men and women may or may not be frickin' equal in the most equal country in the frickin' world where we've had gay marriage legal for the last 20 years. What? We're putting priorities on that while my life is stagnating? Are you frickin' kidding me? Who let me on social media, man? What is the point of that? Anyway, I don't think there are any more questions. No further questions, Your Honor. Oh great, this is another 40 frickin' minute video. I didn't even look at the video timing. That's embarrassing. I guess it's what I'm known for, and this video will probably get no views because I have a habit of, for whatever reason, not getting views and getting a ton of views on my live streams. People love the live streams, but they hate when I make videos. People only like me talking when it's in relation to what they're saying, I guess. I don't know. We can figure that out later. Maybe I'll have to ask my ChatGPT therapist about that. I promise I don't use it for anything, just the therapy. Eep eep, animals. Eyes out.